These are my ICON Timax gloves, just a standard short glove, not a gauntlet. I have owned these gloves for 7 years now, and I'm finally just replacing them. And I wanted to do a review just to talk about them because I've been pretty impressed with these gloves, and especially for 7 years. I've owned many other leather gloves have only lasted several months, not even a year. And once these things finally started to wear out, I was just, I looked back at how long they actually last me, what I paid for them, and I was really impressed. I guess you really do get what you pay for. Now, initially, why I first bought these gloves 7 years ago was because I really liked the fact that they had titanium on them. I mean, I'll be honest, I thought it was kind of cool. And also is pretty functional, though, if you do crash. Now, I don't really have any crashing experience at all on a street bike. I've never been down, ever. And, I have crashed my fair share of dirt bikes, mountain bikes, BMX bikes, skateboards, things like that. And one of the things I can tell you from my experience with that type of crashing is you're usually going to hit first on your palm here. So one of the things I really like about the Icons is that they have these metal rivets that actually go in through the palm. So if you fall, you're gonna slide very easily on that metal, as opposed to some other gloves that have a lot of rubber in an area, might hit and grab really hard, and you could break your wrists, things like that. Cause a lot of force to your elbow. So these should really help slide. It also helps the glove last longer too. You might be able to crash on it in that area and get away with reusing it again. Has good thumb protection. Good pinky protection, good protection all around. So the reason why I replaced these is because just recently the very tips of the fingers started ripping, and as you can see, the leather is actually starting to crack a little bit too. So honestly, it's probably my fault that they're ripping. I probably should have taken better care of them and put some leather conditioner on them. I've never done that in the 7 years I've owned these. They've only been in water a couple times, but nothing too major. Doesn't ever rain that serious in California. There's also a little bit of ripping right there in the palm, but nothing major. Again, just very good shape. One of the other things that of course is going to wear out over time, but I guess if you went to a tailor you could probably have that fixed, is the elastic on the hand. But overall, these are a very functional glove, very strong. They have a lot of leather on them, very durable, and I always felt pretty comfortable in them. If I was ever going to crash, I would definitely want to have these on because I feel like they protect me quite well. Now, one thing though with these gloves is that when you do buy them brand new, they are kind of stiff because they have a lot of leather on there. And also, these little studs can be kind of uncomfortable at first when the glove isn't broken in. So with that being said, I probably wouldn't recommend them for a new rider who isn't very familiar with their bike yet, just because at first you don't have the throttle control that you really want for a new rider. You want to be able to feel the bike. So if you're a new rider, I probably would stay away from these just for that reason. But once they get broken in, they are very nice. You can feel the handlebars very well. So with that being said, these are the gloves I'm moving on to. These CD power gloves. These are also relatively pricey compared to some of the other gloves out there. They're about the same price as the Icons, but again, I always feel with motorcycle gear, you kind of get what you pay for, and if I can get something that's going to last me for 7 years, I'm willing to spend the money up front for that, especially if it's going to be safe and it's going to protect my hands if I crash. So you may be asking yourself, why didn't I buy the Icons again? Well, that's because I wanted a gauntlet glove like this that covers my wrist. I've never crashed with those Icons, but one thing that can happen if you don't have a gauntlet is that your wrist bones can actually become exposed when you crash, and you can cut your wrist all up. So I've never crashed, but I've been pushing my luck for a long time. Just want to go something a little bit safer. Now, ICON actually used to make the Timax in a gauntlet, but as far as I've seen now, they don't. So maybe I'm wrong about that. It's still an option, but I went to the store, tried on tons of pair of gloves. I went to Chaparral. They had quite a big selection, and these were the gloves that fit me the best. I've only ridden them once today, and I really like them so far, but we'll see how they hold up, and I'll do a review on these once they start to fail, and we'll see where we're at.